in the summer of 2024. Two numpties trying to follow the river from Prague to Hamburg without motorized transport.
This is my life now. I just walk. Yeah, just don't know what's going to happen next on this trip.
With just 2 weeks to do it, would they get there? No, we only got this far. But that's why, in the summer of 2025, we headed back to sleepy little Mühlberg to finish what we started. We were less than halfway, with an endless, windy stretch of the Elbe still ahead, and a much emptier, more monotonous stretch. So we had around 18 days this time, and some bivvy tents, so that we could do some sleeping rough. But the weather had different plans.
I want to cry, to be honest.
Miserable, miserable. So if our total disorganizedness and lack of preparation was something you enjoyed in Series 1, or if you'd just like to see us suffer, there's plenty for you in Series 2. Let's go.
Ah, for fuck's sake!
So I'm back in Riesa. Took a train early this morning from Prague up to Dresden, and then another train from Dresden to here. But a bit of a disaster so far. Jadams is meeting me here. Flight was delayed, so I've got a long time to kill in Riesa right now. But here's the car park where we stayed last time. There's Hammerbrow and Panama Joe's over there. Like no time passed at all. It's not Monday or Tuesday this time, so let's hope some stuff's open in Riesa. Good start, not even in Mühlberg yet, and already a hiccup. Those are the Saxon colours on the bunting there, basically a Wales flag without the dragon. And of course, the bustling heart of the community was the Ice Cafe, just like all the German towns we saw last year. 4:15, I've killed 4.5 hours waiting for Jadams so we can catch the bus to Mühlberg, and I've still got another 2.5 hours to wait. So yeah, because of this delayed flight, we've got a bit of a dilemma now. We won't get to Mühlberg till like just before 8, which doesn't leave us much daylight to really get anywhere. We try and get accommodation in Mühlberg or here in Riesa and start tomorrow, or start walking tonight and see if we can find somewhere to sleep rough along the way. So the decision was, we stay in Riesa tonight and we get up at balls o'clock tomorrow to catch the bus to Mühlberg.
Yeah, 5:20.
5 bus. We found this really cheap accommodation, and I think we could tell why it's cheap. Not the best privacy arrangement.
Brings back memories of Pirna.
Yeah, we had big ambitions today to get up at 4 a.m. and get a bus that we're not sure if it existed or not at 5:20 from here to Mühlberg to start the walk. But we changed our minds at midnight and decided to get the 8:20 bus instead, and then overslept. So now it's about 11 o'clock and we're waiting for the 11:24 bus.
So we accidentally bought fizzy water. I accidentally bought fizzy water for the both of us, which neither of us like. So we figured put our isotonic tablets in there, make it a bit tastier. But every time we do that, for some reason, the thing bloody explodes. Except this time. But as you can see, last time. So we'd finally dragged ourselves, kicking and screaming, to the starting line. It's almost as if we could sense how tough this was going to be. Bit of a nostalgia fest so far. We went to the same cafe where we finished the year before and bought the same cakes off the same lady. But then it was time to start recording on footpath. And once we'd crossed the same bridge that had previously brought us into Mühlberg, Series 2 had finally begun. We entered what was, under the cloud coverage, a pretty bleak looking landscape with not much of a plan on where we were going to end the day. Belgien was definitely too close. Torgau might have been too far, but we did have the bivvy tents. So, finally on our way.
Off we go again.
Kind of a depressing, kind of a depressing light and landscape at this point.
Yeah, so it's 1 o'clock apparently. About 24 hours after we thought we would start walking.
Yeah, so is this day 1 or day 2?
It depends how you count it. I mean, yesterday was meant to be day 1 and we got nowhere. I think we should keep that as day 1 to add a bit more pressure along the way so that we make sure we cover the same number of miles as we would have done. Because we do have quite a long way to go, Dad. A lot longer to go and not much more time to do it in.
Still getting used to the backache. But we've decided that actually this is day 1. It makes more sense. This is the day we've started walking. We were on minus distance yesterday. This is new ground, finally. Yeah, it's been, what, 10 and a half months?
Yeah.
And it just feels like basically no time has passed now.
Feels like only today we were in Mühlberg.
Well, we were.
That makes sense then, doesn't it?
So what are your main concerns for this trip? For getting to Hamburg?
I think my main one is probably that the rest of the trip is going to be pretty much like the last 2 days of the last trip. You know, not much going on, hardly anywhere to stay, and just a bit soul destroying generally.
Yeah, there's that worry that the more scenic parts of the route are behind us, you know, on the Czech-German border especially. But there's also the worry that, see, last time we didn't really get any rain. We had the day on the canoe, obviously, and then the day in Dresden, which didn't matter because that was a rest day. Yeah, there's no way we get through another river trip without getting drenched while trying to walk somewhere.
Yeah, one thing we'll also have to keep on top of is making sure we've just got plenty of water and food on us all the time, because it doesn't look like there's even many like little villages.
No, I'm no geographer, but I'm pretty sure rivers, the closer they get to the sea, they get wider, they get bendier, a lot of like oxbow lakes and things like that, and there aren't many bridges. It's a longer way than we did last time, and it's probably going to be more difficult, so we have to be more disciplined.
We have to be very on the ball basically with the like what route we're going to take that day, what side of the river we're going to be on.
I was going to say fewer stops, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because I don't think there's going to be many opportunities to stop, really.
No.
If the last 3 days of the last trip are anything to go by.
Like today, for example, we're heading pretty much for Torgau, or beyond if we can manage it. That's about 20 miles away, and between here and there, there's basically one stop. So it'll make the stops more enjoyable. So here we have a nice example of how bends are going to be adding a lot of miles onto this trip. We can cut across by going that way, or we can go that way, which is the way we are going to go. This enormous bend instead of just...
Yeah, we try not to cut out bends whenever possible, but as long as we're going in the same general direction as the river. Psychologically not a nice looking road. Long and barren. That's the first village we're gonna have seen on the way. We've seen no people. It's all looked like this basically. Fear not, the river is just next to those trees over this dike we've been following.
Now we're on a roll, we're doing a decent pace, 3.5 miles an hour.
But you don't really have a choice. It's not a bench in sight. They're coming over. Ahoy there. Well, there is a bench at the village, but... So with around 11 kilometres walked, we closed in on Belgern Schildau, the first and potentially last opportunity to sit down somewhere before Torgau. Now, if we actually made it all the way to Torgau, that would actually be longer than any of the longest 2024 walks, so the biggest walked distance so far. Maybe not wise on the first day, but we were going to have to keep breaking records if we were going to have any chance of making it to Hamburg, especially after starting a day late. I see awnings.
Awning.
That must be the Rathaus. Was it unexpected?
Are we supposed to kneel?
It's the kind of window that seems really popular in Saxony. That sort of looks like a pair of shifty eyes. So that, of course, is an ice cafe. First beer of the trip of Icen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we've done about 14k, we've got 17k to go until we get to Torgau. And there's a campsite there where I've been trying to phone them to see if they have like a patch of ground we can bivvy on. We've brought bivvy bags with us.
We were planning to use them in the wild. Technically a legal grey area in this part of Germany. And the thing is, we haven't actually seen anywhere along the way where we could bivvy, really.
Not very comfortably, no.
It's been all like farmland.
That'll be one of the main challenges, actually finding somewhere suitable to bivvy on. Wild camping is strictly forbidden in the German states we're going to be walking through. The really annoying thing is that the other side of the river and, a bit further, in those German states, it's perfectly legal to wild camp. So hopefully if we do end up bivvying, we'll be okay because technically, we're not camping. And I mean, what is the difference?
We don't really know. Maybe it's illegal, maybe it isn't. But if we do it wild, we're going to have to make sure it's somewhere
discreet.
Inconspicuous, yeah. I'm going to be needing our ponchos sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we felt a few little spits coming from the sky.
There was a match today to do a little ground hopping video. This came on suddenly. It's Jadams trying to get his poncho on. Jadams, come in here.
Why didn't we just come under here? Oh.
Well, I finally got my poncho on. And it stopped as suddenly as it started. Now we look like proper pilgrims.
Fucking thing. There's a wasp in there.
Why is it? How's there a dead wasp in my poncho? It's a brand new poncho. Oh.
Jadams was just saying if that downpour had happened at 9-10 in the night, this would have been a perfect place to just unroll the sleeping bags. So since we've come a month earlier than last time, the sunflowers aren't all dead. Look at the pretty sunflowers.
This patch of ground is for sale. All of the goats are included. If sold, then sold.
2 down, 15 to go.
Oder wir könnten in einer Hütte schlafen oder sowas. Okay, so they got no huts free, but they do have space for the bivvies. He said that they close at 9. Oh, absolute cut-off is 10. We can make that, can't we? We can take it easy now, Dad.
We just never learn, do we?
That's good. That's good news. There's a village over there called Tits.
I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's some pretty gnarly looking rainstorms over there on the horizon. With the rain closing in, it was time for a very hurried snack break before our packs became inaccessible underneath our ponchos. And here it comes. Look at that. Snug as a bug. We mean you no harm.
We didn't have to put up with any of this last year, like when we were walking. Now we do.
If there's anywhere where there's a bit of shelter, do we just plow through this, or?
You know what, I think, because we don't know when it's going to stop. We just got to keep going.
Just a bit gutted we're still in double figures kilometres. In hindsight, this day was a real learning curve. Our first hike in wet socks, our first look at these double track paths along a dike with the occasional sheep enclosure that would be repeated endlessly, identically, and at this point needing to use some facilities and have a rest. We still naively thought that most villages would have a pub or an ice cafe at least. That's the pub. The pub is at the end of this road, is it?
Yeah, well, it's like an inn, which will hopefully be open so we can get a cheeky beer, cheeky toilet break.
So we need to use the facilities in this place. They closed for another 20 minutes.
I reckon it's worth waiting for the sake of 20 minutes.
That would leave us 2 hours to get to the campsite.
Yeah.
But we only got about 8 kilometres left to go. So that place was closed down for good, it turns out. Our futile search for a pub and the location of the campsite had taken us a little bit away from the river and onto this long, featureless main road into Torgau. And there's Torgau. I think we really got lucky with the rain today. You can still see it over there.
The question is, will it stay away in the night?
Yeah, because we're getting just a space to set up the bivvies, aren't we? The non-waterproof bivvies.
Well, they're water resistant, aren't they? So I think that amount of rain should be fine.
The campsite was close, but I was in a foul mood at this point, to be honest. So it's just lucky I didn't know how bad the evening was gonna get. The road never ends, does it? Yeah, Google Maps takes us like around here. Half an hour. It's a much more direct route to this camping place, but it means running across this motorway. Oh, this is a bigger barrier than I expected.
car coming. I don't know if we can do this.
Some guy just beeped at us and then pulled over, so we're a bit weary now of why.
It's going to get out, give us a bollocking. Don't be so fucking stupid.
There's a crossing. Saved.
Just like, a couple of minutes up the road. So. I'm starting to feel a bit exhausted now. Been full of beans all day, but sometimes you just get a wave of like exhaustion, don't you?
And we're now worried. This shortcut might be a bit too good to be true.
This here is like a football stadium, so all we need now is just for there to be like, I don't know, a fence in the way that isn't on the map.
So while we're looking for the campsite, I'll show you the route for the day. We're just outside Torgau, 29.7 kilometers walked, which just about beats Obervogelgesang to Dresden into first place as the longest distance walked. A long way for us amateurs, and we were going to have to do at least the same distance the next day. So best get a good night's sleep, eh? I think you've gathered by now that that isn't what's going to happen.
Why does this road have to be so fucking long?
But there was nothing blocking off the shortcut to the campsite, and once we got there we had a beer and a pizza each. So this was a brief window of high spirits. And here are the bivvy bags, basically a flat body bag shaped tent. Light, easy to carry. In last year's warm, dry weather, they'd have been perfect. In July 2025, however, well, you'll see next episode. Bivvies are down. Beer and pizza. Let's see how bivvying is. It's our first time.
Yeah, so just looking at options for tomorrow and where to actually aim for. There's only like tiny little places with the kinds of places we passed today where there was just nothing. Next reasonable place to stop is a place called Prague, which is 6 kilometers further than what we walked today. 36 kilometers in total. But it has options for accommodation which look pretty nice and actually quite cheap.
And one thing I didn't mention about the bivvies is they're not waterproof.
Oh shit.
And it looks like it's going to rain tonight.
I can feel it spitting actually.
It's raining now, it's just starting. So this could be a bit of an ordeal. And it was an ordeal. So come back next time for the longest night and day in river trip history.
I think I've just had like a 3-hour-long panic attack.
I've done all-nighters before, but I've never tried to walk 36 kilometres the day after an all-nighter.
Amazing what a couple of pints will do, eh?
I bet we're the first people in the history of this campsite to f**k up this badly.